I'm the leader of this project. My name's J Jansen, and I'm a baritone saxophone player. I've come to know all the musicians involved in this project through various times and dealings, so I guess we could start with that, right?
Yeah, so how did this ensemble come together for you?
This is my 10th project as a leader, so I wanted to do something very special and sort of outside the box as far as with, the personnel involved. So I recently became under the management of To Be Younger, On Point Management, and we were sort of hashing out what we were going to do with the project, and she had suggested to go in a different direction, and I listened and I agreed, and I thought that would be very interesting. And it just so happened that two of my musical heroes happen to be also clients of hers, Del Marsalis and Ralph Peterson Jr. on drums. So we kind of came up with an idea. Well, why don't we get those guys involved, and then we can have everybody on the record. And and I also started playing with Desron at St. Nick's Pub in Harlem when I first got in New York. Zakai was recommended to me, and everything's really turned out great. Dwayne I knew from the Philly connections when I was in Philly, and we started playing. He started playing in my band before actually the recording date. So,
can you talk a little bit about some of your favorite moments from this session?
Yeah, absolutely. I think one of my favorite moments actually was doing the improvised, that's now yet to be titled, tune that I did quartet with the rhythm section. And it was really cool. It was actually suggested by Desron, the bass player. I wanted to, with this project, I wanted to put together music that would encapsulate what I felt would be everybody's vibe coming into the session, that would be something that we could all have common ground. So a lot of the music is, I would say, I guess the word would say soulful or feel good music. Some of it is stuff that you can clap your hands to. A lot of times in jazz, things are more on the academic side. So I wanted to make sure things were swinging and soulful, and and we could get to the best parts of what I felt all the musicians had to offer. So, especially Del coming from New Orleans, bringing that, blues sound, and then also Dwayne, who has that Philly soul vibe, Lee Morgan type inspiration, and also Ralph, same thing, from the South Jersey, Philly area, and then also Dez and Zakai from up here in this area, but still very into that feeling of the music. So when I was picking the tunes and writing the music, it was stuff that I wanted to make sure everybody could feel it, and that we could, get that feeling across to the audience the best way we could. So that's why I chose a lot of the tunes that I chose. And some of the stuff had already been recorded before. But I thought that this is a new group of musicians. Nobody had ever played this music before, except for Dwayne and myself. And then adding the trombone, it was a new color. So I think we really got to some different sound that also has a strong throwback to the tradition of where this music is from. So as far as, it was funny because when I was going around with my manager talking about the project and who would be involved, Zakai came as a recommendation because he's in Ralph's band, and I heard the record and I was like, yes, Zakai is awesome. We're gonna definitely. But I heard something online with Ralph and Desron, and when I heard that combination, I was like, that's what I want with the drums and the bass. I mean, they just swung so hard. So I mean, you'll really hear that in the music. How they lock up and they have that tight groove. And then, as far as the horns, the colors and everything, it was really great also just to have that experience with myself, Sakai, and Desron. Probably everybody else is at least 15 to 20 years older than us. So there's a lot of experience, and learning going on. And that was one of the favorite things for me too, was just the learning and, getting a chance to learn from Ralph and Del and Dwayne. They have so much more experience than we do. So it was pretty cool to learn some things in the studio.
Awesome. What do you hope people to get out of this music? What do you hope the listeners will get from this recording?
Well, like I said, I think as far as what I hope people get from the music, I just want them to feel excited about the music, and I want them to feel the joy and the soulfulness in the music and to feel good. That's what I wanted to put out a record that could be enjoyed by people who listen to jazz and people that maybe never heard jazz. So it's still somewhat approachable, just through the honesty, and the earthiness of it.